Alrighty, welcome into Chalk Talk Social. It is Friday, January 23rd. And if you're thinking, hey, this guy sounds kind of nasally, it's because I am. I'm cold. I got a cold flu thing going on, so no one's allowed to judge for sounding like Steve Urkel today. But hey, big news in Iman's land with the Baltimore Ravens. They signed Jesse Minter to be their head coach right before we start recording. Iman, we got to know, man, how are you feeling about that, your new head coach?
I'm up and down with it because he's just like an extension from the Harbaugh guys. He's been with John. He was with John in 2017 to 2020. He went with Jim to Michigan. Then he followed Jim to LA. He's like McDonald. So listen, if he can do what he's doing in Seattle, I'm going to love him by Thanksgiving next year. Mm-hmm. But he's got to nail the OC. Please nail the OC. Because whoever he was working with in L.A., don't bring that motherfucker over here. So
Another former Raven coach, actually, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. Keep him there. We got rid of him for a reason. So if he's who everybody say he is, I like the young guys, innovative, going to get the defense back. If he can do what McDonald did in Seattle and Baltimore, I'm excited. We just got to find somebody who's going to let Lamar do Lamar. So right now, it gets it. There it is. But fucking Thanksgiving come. If he's thinking it up, I'm on his ass. Pause.
Hey, now. Hey. I like it, man. I mean, I think it's a good hire, right? He's known to be an alpha dog. Dudes love playing for him. And the sentiment around the Chargers fan base is this is the best Chargers defense we've seen in whoever knows, like a long time. So the fans really loved his defense. You got guys like Derwin James coming out and saying like he's a great leader. He's that dude every day. You can count on him. He's gonna go to war with you. So yeah, I like the McDonald comparison with like Seattle and what he could potentially be. So I think for you guys, especially with how the Ravens defense looked this year and how much help it truly needs. Now his first order of business needs to come in and kick Marlon Humphrey's webcam. Just put that thing into the dust. Burn it, get whatever you have to do. Like, right, with Parsons comes over to Green Bay, that podcast goes away. Marlon Humphreys needs to never show his face on a podcast or a webcam again. We should be good there.
He's been trash ever since he's been potting, for sure.
So he gets the 5-year deal. And so, I like the McDonald comparison. He's his own guy. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next McDonald, but, he's a defensive guru. He's a big accountability guy. He knows how to reach the team, the players. He's very passionate, fired up. Again, just an alpha guy. So I think it's going to be great for that unit. And the Ravens culture that we all know, that hard-nosed, gritty football. It is. So I think he's going to be a good fit with that culture and what the Ravens are as a team. I like it. But like you said, got to nail the OC. But it's still that's an attractive job, right?
for
got
sure.
Lamar. Yeah. They're going to invest in that offense. They're going to invest in a pass catcher. They just have to. And now, I think Jesse Minter is going to be a really easy coach for a really talented OC to buy into as well. So, I really like it. I like it for you guys. And it seems like Ravens fans are pretty cool with it too. I don't know what you wouldn't be too cool with at this point, to be honest. But I'm putting this as an A+ hire, right? The Chargers defense, the last 2 seasons, they were in 2024. They were first in points allowed and 11th in yards allowed, and then this last year, 9th in points allowed and 5th in yards allowed. So this dude knows how to put his defense in the right spots at the right times and make plays. That said, Chargers had an awesome defense. They had a lot of talent.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't want to give it an A+ right now because, the Chargers had some talent over there. And it's just always the difference when you becoming the DC to the CEO. Like, not only he's going to have to worry about the defense, he's going to have to worry about clock management, dealing with personalities, managing his staff. So, not an A+, I'll give it a B+ because we just don't know what he is yet. B+ is better than what the rest of these people are doing. At least we're not getting a loser. I don't want a loser. He's a winner. He's been winning in LA. He was winning at Michigan. He was winning when he was with us in 2017, 2020. So I just didn't want a loser. So I'm cool on that.
I think it's going to be like Kyle Hamilton's already a star. We saw what Minter did with Derwin James. Ever since Minter has been there, Derwin James is back-to-back All-Pros, right, with him. So I think it's going to be awesome for your star of the defense, Kyle Hamilton. And again, like, there's going to be concerns around the Ravens' talent on their defense compared to the Chargers, but like we've seen the Chargers get a lot out of lower draft picks on their defense. Especially like Dalen or Hanley, the middle linebacker too. I think he was a mid-round pick, and he's just becoming an absolute star.
Superstar,
linebacker as well. Dante Jackson as a cornerback had an awesome season this year. So I like it. I think, I think it's a good hire. But all right, rest of the show today, we got a Rams fan coming on. We got the Rams in the NFC Championship game against the Seahawks. So obviously, got to talk about that. More things Rams, keep 3, cut 3 Rams edition. After that, we're going to be getting into more of like some more head coaching stuff. This time around, the Jets and the Browns. We thought they were at rock bottom. I think they both found a new rock bottom. We're going to get some Jets fan feedback on the Aaron Glenn's job security. I have to say something about the Brewers because they traded their superstar pitcher, Freddy Peralta. So I got something to say about, again, the Brewers are a prime example of why MLB needs a salary floor when they go into these next conversations, and then a little AFC Champ preview. So why don't we get straight into it? Let's bring our Rams fan on for today. What up, Jordan? How we doing, man?
Pleasure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, sir. I know you got that Rams jersey on, and so let's get it out of the way. Me and Jordan. Oh, I like it. Oh, we'll see if you're back in Stafford when we do the keep 3, cut 3 later. We'll see if you're still going to back them. So
it's a tough one. That's a tough one.
We'll see. But all right, Jordan. Like I said, let's go straight into it and start with the obvious. It's the championship weekend. You got the Seahawks. It's going to be a hell of a loud environment to be the away team in. Stafford's a little banged up. Seahawks are playing angry damn football. How are we feeling about this game?
I'm excited, dude. I got to be honest, though. I feel better about this one 4 days out than I did going into Chicago. I've been in that building, Soldier Field. That's a tough place to play. I think when I was there, we lost, it was like 20-3 or 20-6 on Sunday Night Football. So I think I had that in the back of my mind. But this is still the same Seahawks team that has Sam Darnold. So he's going to have to prove it to me. We picked him off 6 times this year. We picked him off twice in the playoffs last year. We averaged 28 on their defense this year, which is obviously that's what everyone's talking about. Defense is tough. I'll take the MVP, Matthew Stafford.
What's your score prediction on this one, huh?
That's tough.
Are you confident?
Are you getting hit by the weather up there at all?
Insider scoop behind baseball. Weather is cold, bit frigid, but it's playable. But you always have to factor in that there might be rain. There could be sporadic rain. You always got to
always could.
As we remember cold
from your special day.
Oh yeah, on my wedding we got torrential downpour. It was the craziest thing you'll ever see. I'm talking hurricane rains. As my wife walked out the building, craziest thing you'll ever see.
And then it was done when you guys were done.
Yeah, as soon as we got done, it cleared up again. It was the weirdest shit you'll ever see. But sorry. Anyways,
I'll go 26-20. We'll go a couple field goals in there.
You think you're gonna hold back that offense that much? Okay, all right.
Absolutely, they make plays, man. They're making plays.
Absolutely. I mean, you got a great D coordinator. You got a great defense band of boys up there doing their thing. And again, if Stafford, as long as that hand doesn't get hit, as long as he keeps that hand away from helmets, we might be all right. And but I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they attack the Seahawks run defense in this one, because if the Seahawks, we know they can win the line of scrimmage real easy. And if Kyron can't get going, and the Rams got to be forced to sit back and shotgun and pass, and they got to get away from being under center and shit, like it might get ugly if they can't establish the run early. Are you worried about that?
Just got Kevin Dotson back last week, who we didn't have for the second matchup against him, where we didn't run the football at all. He's one of the best run blocking guards in the league. Throw a little Blake Corum at him. Hopefully, didn't see him at all last week. I think we ran the ball 8 or 9 times in the first half last week, which I thought Sean could have called a much better game last week in that weather. But we'll see. I think I'd like to see the MVP slinging around a little bit.
Hey, listen, Jordan, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm with you on, if Sam Darnold has to win the game, it's going to get ugly for Seattle, but we just seen what he did last week, Jordan. I think it's going to be an ass kicking. You're going to be real sad Sunday because I don't think they're going to put it in his hands. That's my only thing. I'm with you. I don't think Sam Darnold can get it done, but I think they're going to take the game out of his hand and just run some more.
They lost Charbonnet. Charbonnet's out for the year. That's gonna matter.
I think they're gonna stick with it. And just seeing what Stafford did last week in Chicago, knowing it's gonna be cold and rainy, he's getting old, man. Old guys. I'm 43, so I know I don't like going out in the cold. My fucking knees, hands, and when it's raining, shit just don't work right. And we want to do better, but I'm telling you, if it's gonna be cold, I can't go with them because Stafford is fucking old. So. But we're gonna see. But if they're asking Sam Darnold to win the game, I'm with you. He is gonna give it away.
Even if they don't ask him to win it, that doesn't mean he can't still lose it for him.
Right.
You know, he could very well give it away a couple times.
You're right.
He could start seeing ghosts again.
But we saw what happened when he threw 4 picks and didn't seem to matter. So that's what I'm saying. It seems like one of those games where you're just going to have whoever plays the cleaner game might be the ultimate winner here. Might be one of those whoever gets the ball last is going to be the winner of this one. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to have to do a game-winning drive against the Seahawks defense. Hell no, I don't care who is on my team. But at least you do got Matt Stafford and Puka and Adams, and you got a solid defense with a great coordinator right now. Obviously, Shula interviewing for jobs around the league. What's the plan there even? If Shula gets a job, who are you looking at for DC as options kind of, start taking off the board here?
I think there's one answer. A guy who was a head coach with a very good roster for the last couple of years. He was also the DC on a Super Bowl winning team in 21-22, Raheem Morris. Let's bring him back. I don't know if the scary part there is obviously that defense had couple guys you may have heard of: Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, Eric Weddle. So
a decent.
I don't know how good of a DC he was, but as far as kind of bringing that chemistry back, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, hey, that's a guy. I know a lot of Packers fans. They want him in Green Bay. He's a top.
Oh, you lost yours, yeah. That's
half
right.
is out in Miami now, and Raheem Morris is a top name on the Matt LaFleur's interested board right now. So
as he should,
yeah, as he should. I think it'd be a great hire if anyone gets him as a DC. It'd be a great hire. He's had a lot of success as a DC.
Yeah, he gonna want to be in LA though. He don't want to be in Green Bay. He's gonna choose LA over Green Bay. Hell no. So I spoke of earlier though about Matt Stafford aging. He is an aging guy. He clearly maybe 2 to 3 years left. I mean, I don't know. And for real, when you got a cannon like him, you never know how long that can last. But let's just say he doesn't have many years left. What do y'all do far as quarterback long-term? Draft? Do you go get a free agent when he's done and just wait till him to be done and just go find a big-name free agent? Or what do y'all do?
That's a good question. You'd like to have kind of the answer going into this offseason, which you never know, I guess, with guys getting at that end of their career. Not a strong draft coming up. And we have 2 first-round picks, so that would have been nice if there was some talent there. But you could do, some sort of project like Lenoris Sellers or someone who's definitely not ready right now.
Oh, like
hope he's got another year or 2. Oh, he's going back to South Carolina?
Yep,
Yeah,
Sellers is staying back. Yep. So I would be waiting for next
idea.
year. You could do Ty Simpson. You could say Ty Simpson instead and have Ty Simpson sit behind Stafford.
Anything like that, because there's one quarterback probably ready to go as a rookie, and that's Mendoza. So, you can maybe trade up there, but I don't know. F them picks, right?
Maybe. There you go. I mean, I don't think y'all are going to spend the money on Malik Willis because he's going to cost a big old bag, but as nice as that might be to have him sit behind Stafford. But I don't.
He looked good, man. When he was on the field,
it's time for him to start a damn team. It's time. So yeah, I think a lot of people are saying, well, do they sit back and draft Ty Simpson, assuming Ty Simpson does officially come out? I don't know if there's been a full update because the transfer portal is closed now. So I can't remember. I'll look really quick if Ty Simpson has decided to come out or if he's staying in. But yeah, I kind of like that. So you're thinking, go get a guy right now in the draft rather than go pursue someone in free agency.
Yeah, if you knew Stafford was playing next year, I mean, I would hate to just draft one and then he retires. So I guess if he's done, I'm fine with the free agent. Find someone.
Yeah.
Shit.
But
Even if
I
he's done, tank for Archie. Why not just tank for Archie?
might not even have to tank that bad with how he looked his junior year here, or his sophomore year.
Yeah, right about that.
Yeah, I like it. If you get so Ty Simpson is coming out, right? A lot of people project him in the first round. The end of his season did not do him much justice. But yeah, you can't be like the Seahawks. And one thing I was really, because obviously being in Seattle, that I complained about is like, you got an old dusty Geno. There's no guarantees much longer, and you have no contingency plan behind him. You got to have something. And we saw what happened. Geno leaves, and their decision was, all right, well, let's go spend a bag on a Sam Darnold type of guy and not have someone in the wings who's like ready to take over, and we develop them. And then we got the next quarterback for the next 15 years. We're going to go get a bridge guy. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to be there for the foreseeable future in Seattle now, but he's not a 10-year guy for Seattle because of the point he is in his career. So I think the Rams, especially, getting under Stafford for a year, if Stafford gets hurt next year, you can bring him in type of guy. If y'all end up running it up and he's like, you know what, I'm going on to bang another Super Bowl. I'm just hanging it up here. So, I mean, that possibility.
I would take that. I would take that.
Yeah.
I would take that for a couple of years of misery. There is one scenario, though, where we have all our first-round picks kind of back after that Jared Goff trade, Matthew Stafford trade. Kind of another guy who's, top pick, under a very, very high-value target, not getting it done with his current team. Maybe he gets frustrated after a while. Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
Why not? Throw 5 firsts at him. 5 first-round picks on him.
Oh.
Let's go.
Okay, so if there was any big-name quarterback on the market that you would trade for and throw all the picks at, it'd be Joe Burrow?
Well, was Stafford even on the market? I don't even remember him, asking for a trade or anything.
I guess, yeah.
5 may not be enough for Joe Burrow, though. I'm not.
Not right now. A couple years.
So many.
Yeah, y'all might have to do 5 and Puka because they're gonna be like, oh, hell no, we not just gonna give Joe that. Listen, I could only imagine him in LA with a defense and them receivers because he does well with his receivers, but with a running game and that defense, shit.
Yeah, I mean,
we can wish.
Who else on this team is like that we're not talking about is a big difference maker? We're all talking about Devontae, Puka, Stafford, Kyron Williams. We know the stars on defense. Who's like maybe the unsung guy for like next season, the next 5-10 years that you're like really excited about that this team's got in the building right now?
I'm really excited about Terrence Ferguson. Lot of 13 personnel this year, which we haven't seen in the playoffs, and I'd love to see him go back to it a little bit. And Kobe Parkinson kind of goes right there with them in that, Tyler Higbee's kind of been out most of the year. He's back now. So, going into the future, I think Terrence Ferguson's got a chance to be a top 5 tight end.
Oh.
Especially if he's got a Matthew Stafford throwing to him. But on the defensive side of the ball, man, I got to shout out Kobe Durant. The guy just makes plays. Got 5 picks in 3 playoff games, I think. He's definitely not a top 30 corner, by any means, but the dude makes plays, dude, and he's always there.
I mean, ain't that what you need from a D-back? Just to always be around the ball?
That's what you need. He'll give a couple up, man, but he's going to take a couple away.
That ain't bad. I'm surprised you went Terrence Ferguson.
I
like him a lot, dude.
I like him, too. I think Parkinson made a big catch in the game last week, too. I like him, too, so... I mean, those pretty 2 guys. Top 5, though, you might be sipping on a little Henny in that cup. Top 5 was a stretch.
Just wait.
I listen, I'm digging where you was going, but top 5 is rough.
Ceiling.
Yeah, y'all pretty loaded. This offseason, what do you think y'all need to do probably this offseason? I mean, because I think y'all have a great roster outside of the QB spot, but where do you think holes need to be filled in this offseason?
I'd like to see a little depth come in on the O-line. We had a couple weeks there without our left tackle, Eric Jackson, and Kevin Dotson. And Justin Dedich came in, and that run game really disappeared. So little depth there. I mean, I wouldn't hate another D-back, I guess, but I don't know. That defense stayed pretty healthy this year, and it felt like, other than when Quentin Lake was out, felt like it it felt like a very serviceable unit back there.
And I like Cam Curl. I think Cam Curl is an awesome safety. Obviously, he made the huge interception against the Bears to kind of seal it up. So I think you got a good set of. It's just going to really come down to, again, who's going to take over as DC, and is he going to keep this thing going? Because you guys got piggies up front. You got one of the best defensive tackle rooms in football. You got great edge. It's all there. It's a great defense. So do you think, are they going to be aggressive this offseason? They can do anything big, or they just kind of sit back and, make the necessary moves to keep the roster in the right spot? Or are fans wanting something big?
I don't think you can do anything big, man, especially when you got to rework Stafford every year. Obviously, if he's gone, retirement sort of thing, that opens up a lot of cap, and it opens up, we're going to have to get a lot of help. No, I don't expect anything big. I think just reinforce the roster a bit, and if it doesn't work out this year, I don't think we're very far off next year.
Yeah, especially when you got a nice first round situation coming up. Just going to remain perennial contenders. They're not going away anytime soon. It doesn't seem like. All right, we've been doing this a lot with every fan that comes on. So we're going to play our little game of keep 3, cut 3, Rams edition. You get to pick one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver. So be mindful of what you're doing. So let's officially get into it. Keep 3, cut 3, Rams edition. Let's start at quarterback. Are you going to keep Matt Stafford?
Knowing how this game works, I assume you're not gonna go to Sam Bradford next. So I'm gonna try and not be recency bias here, and I'm gonna cut Matthew Stafford.
Man, guy gets you a Super Bowl, comes over here,
I
has
know.
a legacy end of his career.
This answer could change in a couple weeks, but as of today, it's a cut.
Okay. Let's go to our first running back then. Legend, Steven Jackson.
He was the only bright spot for me as a Rams fan growing up. I was born in '98. Greatest Show on Turf happened when I was 1, 2, 3, 4 years old.
You're pooping your pants.
So
diapers still.
My earliest memory is Steven Jackson, and that is it. Steven Jackson, Mark Balger, then Sam Bradford. But knowing how stacked of a lineup, you could pick 3 other guys, and I'd probably take them over Steven Jackson, even though I think he had 7 years in a row he ran for 1,000 plus. And he was our offense for a majority of my childhood, but I'll have to cut him too.
Oh, man.
I'll have to cut him
Man,
too.
Steven Jackson was a weapon in Madden. He was so good.
He didn't go down.
Oh, and the dreads look is just, it's awesome. Iman, I know you used to have some dreads.
Yeah, I just cut him in January. Y'all, listen, when I hear somebody say they was born in '98, I'm like, shit, I'm a junior in high school. Just fucking getting it just threw me for a loop once you said that I was born in '98. I'm like, shit, he missed the greatest show on turf, which was Mike Martz, Kurt, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk. Goodness fucking grief, you missed some good football, but I'm aging myself out. It's okay.
That's why I'm a Rams fan, though, man. I was born during that. My mom's side of the family's all from Missouri, and as I'm growing up, I'm getting showered with all these. I got a Marshall Faulk jersey when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Torrey Holt eventually.
Got indoctrinated at a young age. Oh, Faulk's a good one, man. There's a lot of receivers and running backs in the Rams history that it's hard to cut.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Let's go to the first receiver. I don't know how you're going to manage this one, but Cooper Kupp.
God. Dude. Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP. Oh, my God. I gotta cut him too, man. I gotta cut him too.
Thank you.
I gotta cut
him
too.
Thank you.
I gotta cut him too.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. That's a tough one, dude. That's tough.
No, it's not tough. He's trash.
He's man, do they win those Super Bowls without him?
No.
Yes,
the Super Bowl.
Puka's way better. You take Stafford away. Who's Cooper Kupp? Who is he without Stafford?
That's why I'm cutting him. That's why I'm cutting him. He's a product of Matthew Stafford, for sure.
Okay. I respect it. All right. Well, we talked about greatest show on turf. So, next quarterback up, it's Kurt Warner.
Yeah, thank God.
Keeping him.
Otherwise, that would have looked bad on the graphic. Yeah, we'll go Kurt Warner, 99 MVP, 2000 Super Bowl, 2001 MVP. Fun fact for you that I just learned, that Rams team that won that Super Bowl was the longest shot preseason to ever win a Super Bowl. They were 150 to 1 odds.
Wow. Holy crap.
150 to 1. So what? That's $10 to win 1,500?
That's a good deal.
I mean, that's nuts. I mean, the year that Stafford did it in 21-22, they were 16 to 1.
Damn.
So, I mean, that obviously I was 2 years old, but I would imagine not much on the defense at that point, and just Kurt Warner. Mm-hmm. Just Kurt Warner pulling it out and
it was an awesome roster, the team that they had.
That offense was woof.
Yep. All right, let's go to another running back here. Let's see if this will be your keeper. Todd Gurley.
That's it. Yeah, that's
You're gonna keep him?
Yeah, I'm keeping him.
Okay.
Yep. Keeping him. I know short-lived, man, but I've never seen a dude with the ball in his hands quite like Todd Gurley. I really haven't.
I mean, and you consider as of like within a few years ago, he was still holding like some marks. Like he still had some rushing like leaderboard shit as of a few years ago, and the guy hasn't played ball in a hot minute. And
I think to this day he's top 10 in touchdowns since 2015, and he hasn't played in 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. The dude had just an unbelievable stretch. They ran his knees into the dust.
He's somebody like Jim Brown. I wish they played a little longer because Todd, I mean, even in college, but Todd Gurley was that dude. He kind of reminded me of a not as fast Adrian Peterson, but he was really, really, really good, man. I wish he would have played longer.
Yeah,
if you had him on your fantasy team that year, you won.
Yep,
you won the league.
Beat everybody.
Yep,
that was it.
Your only hope back then was like if you had Jamal Charles to offset it. But Jamal Charles might have been a little bit before Todd Gurley's prime. They were close. Charles and Gurley, they were kind of close.
Yeah.
I can't remember anymore. Anyways,
a little bit before.
I think Charles was before Gurley like took off in a big way. Yeah, Charles was just OG Todd Gurley on fantasy. If you had him, you were winning. All right, receiver. This list could go on too, but we canned Cooper Kupp. Are we going to keep Puka?
Yeah, I'm going to keep Puka, man. I don't care who's throwing that guy the football. There's no ball he can't catch. I've seen enough. Other than that one in Carolina in the fourth quarter, I couldn't believe he dropped that ball. But the dude's a warrior. I mean, he made the best play in that game, and it wasn't even a catch. It was a broken up interception. Most unstoppable play in our playbook is the reverse to Puka Nacua. It's not going backwards. If you got a 4th and 1, that's the play. He's played 3 years, and he's got the most catches out of any receiver ever in 3 years. And I think he's just behind Jefferson for yards.
Well, you know, Ima's going to sit up here and say he's another product of Matthew Stafford.
He's growing on me because he does do a lot of the intangibles, but I want to see him without Matt Stafford or even Sean Collin. I mean, because Sean schemes him up so well. Like, I mean, I be wondering, how is he so open? Sean just schemes him up so well. So I kind of want to see him outside of Stafford. I'm not sold on, because Austin said a minute ago, top 5. I'm like, no way. I'm not going to ever do that. He's too slow. No.
Come on.
I can't give it by, because I'm telling you, stats sometimes can kind of give you a blurry vision on what they really are. So I kind of want to see him.
Have you watched the tape?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I watch, but they forcing the ball too. They listen. Matt Stafford gets him the ball. Like he don't care what coverage is out there, man, zone 3, 2-man over. He's finding Puka.
Wouldn't you? I mean, the guy doesn't drop the football.
I would say he catches everything. He's not. I wouldn't say he's like a.
Everything.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's a route savant by any means, right? I mean, we see the guy across from him, Devontae. Now that's a route savant, And when you watch them like side by side type of thing, there is a clear difference in route running abilities and quickness and just in and out of cuts type of stuff. Not to say Puka's slow or anything, but his superpower is he catches everything. He's not the fastest. He's not the twitchiest. He can take a hit. He blocks. I mean, again, and I know this is like underrated for the receiver stuff, but that offense has more things it can do because it can use Puka as a blocker. And not many wide receiver ones are like that.
I love blocking. I played receiver in college. I love to put a motherfucker on the sideline. I just look at elite, and I respect his progression, but I look at elite Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Those guys were good in high school. They was good in college. They was difference makers in college. Puka just wasn't a difference maker in college. So I'm like, I just don't know. When you haven't been elite your whole life, it's hard for me to put you in the top 5 because the top 5 been elite since they started catching the football, no matter who's throwing it to them.
So, Jordan, you would keep this knowing that Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and Marshall Faulk are all still their names out there you could have picked instead. You would keep the group that you got. There's gonna be some old head Rams fans that are gonna be kind of pissed.
I'll be the only one I would probably take back is I'd probably go Marshall Faulk, but dude, Puka Nacua is different. The guy's different.
They're gonna give him insane amounts of money. He's going to have a blank check. He writes the number.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
He's earned it. He's earned it. He's definitely earned it. I give it to you. He's earned it.
And if he's durable,
I just got to see. I mean, Devontae Adams led the league in touchdowns. He's not good anymore. We all agree. He's not good anymore.
He's good. He just ain't prime. He's not in his prime.
You know how I feel about Matt Stafford. I think he is top 3 arm ever. I've watched quarterbacks since the 80s. Matt Stafford doesn't get enough credit on his arm talent and his ability. I think he'll make me, Jordan, and you Pro Bowlers. I'm just being honest.
I think I'm dropping every pass I get thrown to me.
I am with you on the Cooper Cup. You know, that's all scheme. He's an extension of the run game type of guy. But with Puka, man, it's all over the field. It's wherever, whenever, whoever. The ball's at least getting caught.
Has it his way like BK, baby. All right. Jordan, appreciate you taking some time to talk Rams. You guys got the big game coming up, so I wish I could say I'm pulling for you because I know you've been a Rams fan your whole life, but my wife won't allow me to root against the Seahawks being that she's from out here. So, and I have nothing.
How do you think this is going to go?
I think the Seahawks are winning. If I'm just going to be totally, I just can't go against that defense right now, especially knowing that offense still has they found the run game again. Kenneth Walker's dominating. Like, that was one of the concerns coming in throughout the season with the Seahawks. One of our very first episodes, Iman asked me, are the Seahawks a playoff team? And I said, nope. So that was a horrible start to this whole show for me. Very wrong there. But like I was saying, though, they got the run game is going, even without Sharps in there anymore because he's done for the season. Like, they got something going. I think that, again, if just whichever team gets their run game slowed down here, I think they're going to struggle. And personally, that Seahawks got the best scoring defense in ball. They got the best defensive tackle group in ball that just been stuffing everything between Murphy and Williams. It is just impossible to move the ball on the ground against them. And so I'm a little worried about, as good as McVay is as a coordinator and a play caller and everything, and as much weapons as they have, I'm a little worried about if they get stuck in, like, we got to pass and they have to start kind of getting away from the run a little bit. On that defense, that's going to be tough.
McVay, he's won 10 playoff games before he turned 40. I think you're looking at greatness on that sideline. Sure. Yeah, Seattle's probably got top to bottom the best team in the NFL. They haven't done it before, though. They've never been here.
That's true. I
got that on my side. We got recency bias going on. Seattle beat up a shell of a 49ers team.
True.
Well, the last teams that made them look somewhat human was
the Rams.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an awesome game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I agree with your prediction, like 20-something to 20-something type of game. But, I just think I don't know. It's tough to go against Stafford and the MVP, but it's also tough to go against the top defense in football.
Better remember special teams too. Are you going to punt?
Yeah, that's the
or
thing.
Kick to him? You got to decide that on punt and kickoff. You got it. He's going to be a game changer if you get it to him.
Shaheed.
So that's another thing you got to worry about with Seattle. That third dimension in football is special teams, and they have a killer. So,
I did want to mention that. That's how I can see us losing this game. Rashid Shaheed and a multitude of blocked field goals and blocked punts that we had all season long. Hopefully that's been addressed. We fired the special teams coordinator if that was going to do something. Didn't work in Carolina. So hopefully that's not a factor.
What's the bets you got on the game right now?
I got nothing. No, I got Rams Super Bowl future, $100 to win 2,600. So I'm
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm riding that up.
There we go. All right.
What's the payout buyout right now?
They're like 3-1.
No. I'm saying how much you don't have nothing sitting there because they'll offer you a little bit of money right now.
Yes, on the retail sportsbook apps that we have here. Yes, that is a feature, but
you don't even look at it. You won all of it.
No, I did it through one of my friends who has a book, and there's no cash out option on there, unfortunately.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it anyway.
Listen, I love it. I love it.
Wouldn't do it anyway.
I love it. All right, thanks for coming on, talking Rams. Best of luck to you. I don't know if you guys got did the Rams got like a slogan or thing that they say, like some stupid?
Yeah.
What do they say?
Someone goes, "Whose house?" and then everyone goes, "Rams house." Whose house? Rams house.
Whose house?
No, you got to do it. Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
Rams house. That's all we got. We might have to work on that.
Yeah. We get a little more electricity next time. That was good. We'll take it. All right.
Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing it. See you, Jordan.
Yep, absolutely. See you guys.
Alrighty, good stuff with a Rams fan. Hey man. What would you have done different in that keep 3 cut 3? Which I know you're probably keeping Holt or Isaac Bruce in there.
I'm for sure going with Isaac Bruce. Though I like Kurt Warner, he really only had like 5 good years in it. That's why I didn't agree with him going to the Hall of Fame. I was like, that's kind of a reach. So I'm more Matt Stafford than Kurt Warner. But yeah, I'm going Isaac Bruce or Torrey Holt. I seen it with my own eyes. I was playing football at the time. They were different because you know how I feel about Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. Puka was not better than neither one of Torrey Holt or Isaac Bruce. He's a bigger guy, but no way, no how.
Nah, yeah, dude. I remember. I don't know if anyone listening remembers NFL 2K5, the one with T.O. on the cover. And, bro, I'm telling you, those Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt in that game specifically were juggernauts. Could not be stopped. Those I just used them all the time. I was always the Rams, just tossing their balls
playbook.
Up.
You know, I played with Dallas back then, but I would always steal their playbook or a Steve Spurrier playbook. I listen because that was a different time. I'm telling you, and that's when fun came to football because they would do the little juggle of the ball around it. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. They were crazy.
Simpler times. All right, so for the next couple episodes, we're going to get into a little theme here of going through every team's biggest needs going into the offseason. We'll go division by division till we get to the end. Keep a running total of it. But we're going to start with who we know best on this show. Obviously, Iman's out there in the AFC North, but we got 2 NFC North guys in here. So why don't we start there in the NFC North? Why don't we go to the Vikings? The Vikings first, their biggest team needs. For me, I got quarterback and safety. I don't know if you think anything else, anything different.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem, they need a new quarterback, but what do? You drafted the guy. You got to give him one more year. Now, granted, every car got a spare tire. So you need to bring in a vet backup that you know could probably win some games, but they got to give them at least to Thanksgiving next year. You know how second year Thanksgiving, after that you kind of know what he is because he's had flashes. So I wouldn't say quarterback now. You know, I'm still riding the J.J. McCarthy thing. I think he just needs more games. He's never really had a lot of experience. So I just think he needs more games. I'm with you. I'm going safety. They need a little up front. They're going to need a running back because Aaron Jones was a little beat up last year too. So I think they're going to have to find a running back. But I'm sticking with J.J. McCarthy. Go get a vet backup, a known backup, maybe Cooper Rush, somebody who can come in and be serviceable if it doesn't work.
Well, and a reason why I think a quarterback's in need here, however they decide to address, is because you said he hasn't played a lot of games. But you know why? It's because he sustained a lot of injuries. He hasn't been able to prove himself as a guy who can stay healthy. It's this. And it's just not that alone. Take away all the inconsistencies of his season. Everything's been a flash in the pan. Every good moment has been followed by 2 steps back with J.J. McCarthy. Every single time. His reputation right now is an interception thrower. So there's no way the Vikings are going into next season with a ton of confidence as J.J. McCarthy as quarterback 1. It's the injuries, it's the inconsistencies, it's the inabilities to make downfield passing yet at a consistent level of any type. And best ability is availability. And I agree. I think they got to find a way to go bring in a vet, someone who you can almost let compete in camp for the QB1 job. Maybe with the inclination when you bring him in that we're probably going to have him be the starter next year. Let JJ continue to just master the basics is where he just needs to master
leash, but he's going to be on the short leash.
Yeah, a vet on the short leash, but again, don't force JJ into games when clearly this dude is not ready yet. He really needs to have an amazing offseason, and you got to challenge him. There needs to be a quarterback challenge. Otherwise, they're just being complacent. They're just accepting I don't know. I just think it's too risky. Even if you're like, yeah, we invested all this into him, we have to lean into it. It seems so risky to not have any other secondary option. And I think McCarthy would be better served to at least wait and sit a little bit longer. He looks like he needs it because, again, we're still working on getting the basics right to a consistent extent with J.J. McCarthy. So I love the idea that you just said. Bring in a vet quarterback, challenge for the quarterback 1 spot. Maybe he ends up starter and you got him on a short leash and we see how it rides. But I think that's the thing. And then, safety too. What's funny about the Vikings season? Everyone talks about the Brian Flores defense, how awesome it is. He's a coveted DC. Obviously, he goes back to Minnesota. But the funny thing is, at that same time, everyone's complaining about how bad the D-backs are in Minnesota and how bad, the pass defense is. But, that's all mixed in with, Brian Flores' defense is amazing. The Vikings' defense is amazing. We need safeties. We need D-backs. It sucks. And obviously now Harrison Smith retiring, man. What an amazing career for Harrison Smith. We saw how important a guy like him works in all these different Vikings defenses. And there are some good, second round, third round safeties that I think Minnesota would be really smart to bring in, take a good look at in the second round. A cornerback as well, if you want to do that, because again, if you go into next year with a tough safety room without Harrison Smith, and you're going to get beat downfield and it's going to be bad. So, and hey, a great safety makes your cornerbacks' lives easier. We saw that in Green Bay with Xavier McKinney coming over, having his presence around there made it doable with Keyshawn Nixon and Valentine and these other kind of very, average at best cornerbacks. They all looked better because of McKinney's presence and what he does and means in the defensive backfield. So I think they got to prioritize safety on the defensive side, replace Harrison Smith. Have that new, leader on the defense. So Lions, let's go over to the Lions. For me, this one's pretty easy. They just need an entire offensive line. You pick. Outside of right tackle, you pick the offensive line position. The Lions need it. Dan Skipper just retired. They're going to get Decker, their left tackle. He might retire. They might cut him. So, and they need a center. They need a guard. They need a left tackle. And that was their big, big problem this year for the Lions. Their line sucked royally. So, now you got Decker's situation. Will he retire? Could you cut him and save $18-ish million? Right? If you move on from him, it allows you to maybe pursue a Tyler Lindenbaum or a top offensive lineman in the free agent class, or allows you to allocate that money to just kind of retool, maybe get 2 players in there from getting rid of Decker. So, and for them, I think the Lions have to draft. You have to pick a top offensive tackle in the draft in round 1 this year. There's some damn good ones too. You need it more than anything. And then in the second round, I'm turning around and drafting a guard or a center in round 2. Probably not a center, but give me the top guard in round 2 then if I'm the Lions.
I'm telling you what they need to do. Get rid of fucking Dan Campbell. This experience is over. I'm telling y'all. That was a Ben Johnson.
The biggest need is head coach.
Listen, that was a Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn team. And sometimes these owners and these GMs gotta just realize, hey, the sooner we can get from under this shit, we ain't got to keep expecting something different. Listen, I'm telling you now, Austin, they won't make the playoffs again if Dan Campbell is their coach. I'm telling you now. Just remember I'm saying this. They need to get a new coach. I don't care who they bring in on the offensive line, who they bring in on defense. If Dan Campbell's your head coach, you're going to fucking lose again because we see Ben Johnson, savior. We knew all the success was because of him. So I'm just because he turned Chicago around, not just with offense, but now I'm starting to see his whole persona and his whole coaching was the tough guy. That Dan Campbell shit, you just big. You the big white boy, slow white boy tight end. You ain't really tough. It was all Ben Johnson. So find a new coach. That's my take.
Guy can toss in a bucket at you though at one. Man, he can throw in fatty lippers. I respect that. Up into the north of Green Bay, the Packers. Let me get in on this one because last year I was screaming it, get a damn defensive tackle in this room. We didn't do it. This year I am once again screaming for the Green Bay Packers to just get a true up the middle defensive tackle, a nose tackle, if you will, type of guy, right? They don't have a true defensive tackle outside of Devontae Wyatt. Devontae Wyatt's been hurt. They got two, essentially 3-4 converted defensive ends in Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden servicing as their undersized defensive tackles. And yes, Colby Wooden had nice moments as a run defender. Carl Brooks is able to apply pressure. Neither of them are complete players where one is strong, the other is weak, and vice versa. And even with Devontae Wyatt, everyone's talking about bringing him back and sure, bring him back. But again, this is a dude who's going to be 28 next year. He's been hurt and missed multiple games each of the last 2 seasons. Over the course of his rookie season, he has yet to progress and develop into a plus run defender. And, he's had good moments and spurts in his pass rush, but he's yet to ascend to a game-wrecking defensive tackle that you would expect from a first-round draft pick. I think his best season, he's got 5.5 sacks. Nothing overly dominant. He shows up in some games. He's completely gone in others. And again, he's more of a liability in run defense than he is really an asset. He's just really average across the board. And again, he doesn't have the stuff that you want out of a guy that you're like, yeah, let's pay him big money to stay around here. Especially, like I said, he's going to start next season 28 years old already. And you're like, you've just been very with him. So I think you got to go out and you don't have a first round pick. This is an awesome year to need to draft defensive tackle in the second round or third round even. One of my favorite guys in this draft for the Packers is Lee Hunter. I'm going to be pounding the table this entire offseason for the Packers to get Lee Hunter on their football team. So that'll be one guy. And look at the teams that are left in the championship game. The Patriots, the Broncos, the Seahawks, and the Rams. Those are 4 of the best defensive tackle units in the NFL. Call it coincidence. I think it means something. Milton will. All of those teams dominate up the middle. They have extreme presence up the middle. It's something the Packers have lacked for a long, long time besides, here and there a season where Kenny Clark has his best years in Green Bay. I think the latest was maybe back on 2023 is when Kenny Clark had 7.5 sacks and was really strong. But, the Packers need a game wrecker up the middle. It makes your linebackers' lives better, especially, they're going to get rid of Quay. That's kind of another thing Green Bay's got to look at, potentially another linebacker. But how do you see it?
Hey, listen, you were saying it week after week. Y'all need some DBs now. I ain't gonna lie.
That too. Yep, there it is.
You've been saying it all year. Every now and then they make some plays, but good God Almighty, if they not breakfast jelly toast, I don't know who is. So y'all got to get some DBs. At least one young guy who you can build around. And I'm gonna tell you, I like tall, linky DBs now. All these big receivers. I need a long guy, get the hand up. So I definitely think y'all need a DB.
I'm really intrigued by D'Angelo Pons. He's the opposite of what you just said. Indiana's quarterback.
He can play.
He plays big. He plays big. I like him. A dude who's 5'9", little
5'9".
Dog.
Baller,
you get a cat like him in. He's awesome. But I agree. That was my number 2 for the Packers. It has to be cornerback. 2 straight years the Packers are going into the draft, and the biggest needs are D tackle and cornerback. I really hope this is the year they actually give a shit to address that. We can't run this back again. I know they tried to lean into some guys. They, for some reason, committed to Keyshawn Nixon as cornerback 1. You just can't do it again. You got to get a D tackle and a cornerback early in the. Those are 1 and 2 priorities. I don't want to see a freaking offensive lineman in round 2 this year. I don't want to see it. As good as it is to have offensive linemen, and they do need to improve on the offensive line. I think they have, they found their right guard in Belton. I think they're going to comfortably move Jordan Morgan over to left tackle. I don't know what you do at center, really, with Elton Jenkins, because he regressed as a center, and then he got hurt for the year, and you're paying him big, big bucks. I'm not sure if he's a cut candidate this offseason or not. I don't know. And then obviously you have a star right tackle, and now you've got a lot of money tied into your left guard, Aaron Banks, who just sucks. Guy sucks ass. So yeah, I'm agreeing. DB and D tackle for the Packers. Let's let Joey come in then, and let Joey do it for the Bears as we kick it over the news desk. Joey, who do you got as the Bears' biggest need this offseason to address?
They got 2 positions. I know they're not sexy, but it's left tackle and, mirroring what you said, they need another D tackle or D end on this team. Offensively, on the tackle side of the ball, they're in a really weird spot. So they had Braxton Jones last year, and average at best, and they replaced him. They drafted Ozzie Trapillo, who took a little while this year to get in a rhythm and get in that starting slot, and kicked ass the second half of the year. And then in that wild card game against the Packers, tore his patellar tendon in his knee.
Ooh,
and that's not an ACL. That's an injury that will most likely cost him the entirety of next year. And in some reports, it can be career ending. There's a 55% chance coming back from that, because those tears are so bad for your knee, especially for a 6'8" lineman. So
yeah,
they finally built their line with the free agents, with Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and then drafted Darnell right on the right, and Trapillo on the left, and now that big tackle's gone for the foreseeable future. So they're going to have to figure out if it's a draft pick, if it's a free agent, if it's sliding guys over, what they're going to do. And Theo Benedette is the fun story from Hard Knocks last year, if you remember, and wore the bald eagle underwear, and is a great guy and undrafted and a good story. But I don't know if you can really rely on that on this offense with Ben Johnson. And the second one is that D tackle, right? This Bears defense is really weird. They led the league in turnovers, 33 this year, but they have 0 pass rush. 0.
Yeah.
So if they can go into the market here, and Montez Sweat has to live up to that contract too, but they got to get someone opposite him or at the tackle position to really put pressure on the quarterback. The only way this defense works, how it's supposed to, is with that pressure. And they just let quarterbacks stay in that damn pocket for way too long. And they have to do it. This all started back when their GM, Ryan Poles, first got the job. He signed Larry Ogunjobi, if you remember him. And it was a big free agent signing. The Bears were crap, but it was a big guy in the middle. And then he had to call him back an hour later saying, sorry, bud, you failed your physical. We can't sign you. And ever since then, they've yet to find that D tackle up the middle to be that enforcer. So those are my 2 picks. I know, like I said, they're not fancy, but if you got the skill guys around it, you got to build up in between the trenches.
I wonder what you think about this, though, Joey. Do you think Rome Odunze or DJ Moore comes back next year? Do you get rid of one of them? Because Luther Burden, he's going to be good. I don't think Rome or DJ.
We can't get rid of Rome yet. He's still on a rookie deal.
But, I mean, do you get rid of DJ, though?
I would.
Yeah.
He made more plays late, though.
He did. It's just that last one's haunting me in the back of my head. But, yeah, Rome you're keeping. He's on the same rookie deal as Caleb, and I think he's just way more hurt than they want you to believe at the end of the year. He had that fractured foot. He barely came back for the playoffs and just wasn't really the same. DJ Moore is an interesting one because they just re-signed him, but he's that interesting guy where he got some good stats at the end of the year, but hasn't really been a winning player, and the effort's been questioned. So Luther Burden, I think, is that steal of that draft. And I know he had some off-the-field things and whatever, how he fell, but, man, in the right system, he could be dangerous. So, yeah, out of those 3, DJ is the one that probably goes, but if you go into next year and he's one of your 4 or 5 receivers, that's a hell of a guy to still keep if he cares and wants to be there. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be an interesting offseason thing with him for sure. They could afford to move off of him, sell while the iron's still a bit hot with him, and free up some cash, go do more to build up on the defense a bit. And you got pass catchers still. You got Loveland, you got Burden, you got Adunze, you got Monunga, you got Swift, you got Kale. You got more than enough that you can survive without DJ Moore, where you can go do more things. And I was saying at the trade deadline, move DJ Moore at the deadline. Go get some picks. Like, give them to someone like the Steelers. Place a call. Like, what's polls? Just place a call to Pittsburgh. Like, hey, thinking about DJ. Are you thinking about DJ? You should be. Call me back. Bye. That's how I see it. But
and don't forget Jade Walker. I know he didn't play in the last game, but that's the guy, the rookie that came in when Rome was injured.
Yeah,
had those game-winning and game-tying touchdowns.
He can ball.
I don't like his number.
I know it's
got to
confusing.
fix the number.
It's okay. There was a defensive replacement because the linebackers got hurt. That was 16. I go, okay, so 20 is a receiver, and then 16 is a linebacker. I'm like, I don't know how to do football.
No, I don't like 20. Just like when Matthew Golden was wearing 22, I was like, we gotta change this. He had a season of someone who wears number 22 as wide receiver. But why don't we get into the news, Des, Joe? We got a couple things to get through today, so let's crack into it. What do we got?
All right, let's do it. So first, we're sticking with the NFL, but we talked about the fun stuff to get teams better, but some teams just keep getting worse. So we're going to say a big Chalk Talk social welcome to the Jets and the Browns for being at rock bottom in the NFL. You got coaches turning down interviews. Chris Shula's like, nah, I'm not going to even try to look at Cleveland. The Jets reporters are claiming at least 2 top DC candidates turned down the interview with the team because they're both dumpster fires. What do these 2 organizations do to right their ship? And I know as a Bears fan, mine have been as stupid as they have been, but these 2 seem like they're just, they could be relegated to where, Wrexham started for all I care. They're so bad.
Yeah. I don't think the Jets are coming back until Woody Johnson's gone. That seems to be the sentiment around the fan base. They're like, how many coaches we gotta get fired? How many turnovers? Like, how many times does roster need to turn over? There's been one guy. How many GMs do we need? The one guy through it all is Woody Johnson. The problem's at the top here. It's one of those you got the black plague at the top of the organization, and it trickles down into every single thing else. So I think for the Jets, they're screwed until Woody Johnson's gone. I don't think people want to come in and coach for an organization where he's there. And the thing with Aaron Glenn, man, clearly coaches don't want to coach on his staff even. So I think they're in trouble. And the Browns have been a mess for as good as time, right? I mean, I don't think anyone wants to come in and have to deal with the whole noise around Shador and what to do at quarterback, deal with their front office, deal with their ownership as well. They don't have any type of real stability for like a first-year coach who wants to come. How is that attractive to a guy who's about to take his first head coaching job? You're almost walking in to your own death trap. So I get why they're not doing it either. And, I know Stefanski just took their OC with him as well, kind of with Tommy Rees, going to run that whole show back in Atlanta and make it appear to be that it was really the front office that's the problem in Cleveland. Not me, not my staff, not the way we do things. So he's going to do that in Atlanta. We'll see how it goes. What do you think, Imam?
Like you said, first of all, both of the ownerships fucking suck. So nobody wants to be a part of that. The rosters are rosters. If I'm a coach, I'm looking at both of their rosters like, they don't have any defensive players on the Jet. Why do I want to go over there? And Aaron Glenn is a terrible head coach. Woody should get rid of him. I'm just being honest. I think y'all got to start getting rid of these terrible head coaches year one. But Cleveland roster is terrible. Who wants to come in? I'll take Shador. Now, I'm more bullish on who Shador is as an NFL quarterback. It's just everything around him is like, I can't win with that. So I'm in agreement. Both of those organizations, they should send Cleveland back to Baltimore for a second. We'll have 2 teams out here. Fuck it. And
should the Jets fire Aaron Glenn?
Yes,
should they fire him right now?
They should have fired him. He stinks. If you watch the game as a head coach, He's terrible with time management. He's terrible with structure and game planning. He stinks. I'm just being honest. And I like Aaron Glenn as a DC, but I call it like I see it. He fucking sucks. And once again, he was the one who told Aaron Rodgers that he wasn't enough and he wanted Justin Fields. I don't trust any head coach who don't have an eye who the quarterback should be. Get rid of him.
Yep. And I mean, he was a defensive player his whole career. He was a defensive coach his whole career. And then you come in to be the Jets and you get rid of your two best defensive players and you have a historically bad defense. It's all red flags. There's like no green flags. It seems the only reason they're keeping him around is for money. But like they could fire him right now. They won't because Woody Johnson, they just won't do it. And there's still better options available. Now, the problem is, if you fire Aaron Glenn, it's the same thing as the Browns. Is the job even attractive enough to any of these coaches? You got to deal with Woody Johnson in that front office. You got to deal with the New York media. You don't got a quarterback. Who knows if the team's going to trade Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson? Who knows? Your defense is void of talent at this point. So even if you do fire Glenn, I don't know if you're going to be attractive enough option to get any coach that you want in there. So you might as well roll it back with Glenn because it's not going to work. I mean, I think if I was a head coach, if they fired Glenn, it would have to be to the extent that they're like, hey, you know what? You're going to come in. You get to call who is our quarterback. You get to make the final call, and we will pursue a trade to get the guy you want. If it comes to that, we will move assets. If they offer me that, maybe. But that's, again, just nothing that's going to happen. They had that 1 month last season where they're like, after they traded Sauce and Quinnen, where it's like, oh, there's a little spark on the defense. And then they totally collapsed, went full tank mode again. So it got me thinking, let's check into the Jets fan base and how they're feeling about Aaron Glenn's tenure in New York and should he be fired or kept around. We'll go tweet by tweet here. So again, Jets fans reacting to Aaron Glenn's job security. One fan says right off the bat, a dead horse would be better. Whew. And I can't disagree.
Me neither. JT Mac 32 said, I choose to believe this franchise is cursed. I choose to believe that every decision that makes will be the wrong one. True. I choose to believe that they'll never be good again as long as the current owner is at the helm. Don't wish his death, but hope a blunt is smoke with him near.
Next up, we got Jetcast saying the only reason Aaron Glenn won't be fired after today is money. He's owed 4 more years on his contract at roughly $10 million per season. That's it. That's the only reason. There is not one single thing you can point to on offense or defense that has improved since week 1. This guy Ray, he's got a point. What's
For
next?
sure. Dave 58 Big said any owner with a brain will fire Aaron Glenn, hand McDermott a blank check, but sadly, Woody Johnson lacks a brain. That's smart though. I would definitely go for McDermott too.
Yeah, that story is crazy what's going on with the Bills. We can get down after this, but next up, the fact that the Raiders can fire Pete Carroll, a Hall of Fame coach, after 1 season, while the Jets won't fire Aaron Glenn after 1 season is a complete disgrace. It's a good point. It's a damn good point. All right, what's next?
NY Jets TF Media says, I am not saying fire Aaron Glenn after 1 year, but to be a former defensive coordinator, former defensive player, and to have had a Jets defense that's been this bad, literally historically bad all season. It's really, really bad.
Yeah. So if you go up and down Twitter, that's a sentiment. Everyone's like, we're stuck with him. We might as well get comfortable being stuck with Aaron Glenn, but we all want him gone. Nobody wants him there. They're the only people I'm seeing want Aaron Glenn there. The sentiment they have is we just have to have hope. We just got to hope that it just get through year 1. Year 2 will be better. There'll be changes, whatever. So the only people who still bought in are the ones who are clinging on to the final straw of hope that they managed to find with Aaron Glenn. So sentiment's pretty shit around him in New York right now. Before we get to the next one, real quick, like that Browns or that Bills thing, all this shit about Billy Bean, an episode ago, we were talking about how there needs to be more eyes on Billy Bean rather than McDermott here in terms of who the problem is, right? Especially because now there's all these videos and different things that are getting dug up out of the internet around like Billy Bean being locked into Keon Coleman on draft day. Like he was this guy they were
hell no, that wasn't him. That was a fucking
Brandon Bean. Billy Bean's your baseball guy.
Yeah, Billy Bean's baseball. Yeah, Brandon Bean, my bad. So Brandon Bean just sitting there being content we're taking Keon Coleman. And, everyone wants to blame McDermott for the losses. But again, look at the talent that's been put on this team. Ever since McDermott wasn't the guy making the call on draft night, McDermott's like one draft he did in Buffalo was better than everything Bean did combined the rest of the time drafting and building a roster around it. So, yeah, a lot of blame to go around. It seems like the Bills are content with no accountability at the top. They're content with, hey, we're going to promote the guy that is clearly the problem here. They're just not accepting responsibility, and they just decide to blame McDermott, it seems like, instead, and use him as a scapegoat for the rest of the problem. So I'm a bit worried about Josh Allen now. Knowing that this is what's happening in his front office, I'm a bit worried for my guy Josh Allen here. All right, what's next on the news desk?
Next up here, we're going to your Brew Crew prime example of why MLB needs a salary floor. And I know Iman and I talked about this when you were out. You guys have talked about it, the whole salary cap argument. But, man, this one is the flip side, where you got Freddy Peralta being traded to the Mets for 2 top 5 prospects. Big reason for their success this year was him against my Cubs. I know, I saw it. But this is, again, another situation where a quote-unquote small market team gives up their talent and there's no consequence. The fans are stuck with it. The team's laughing all the way to the bank, and we're back to square one here.
Yeah. And I know I'm wearing my Mariners hat, but, lifelong Brewers fan. I had to watch this team be horrible most of my life. I got the watch the CC Sabathia year, how freaking awesome that was. Their climb back to relevance these last, 5-6 years. You're having Christian Yelich come around, but man, it is so tiring being a fan of the Brewers. I swear to you, the ownership works for the Cubs, and they're also a part of Manfred's front office, and his agenda is to get Milwaukee baseball out of Milwaukee. That is what I firmly believe, because they refuse to spend. I don't know how many times Brewers fans need to go through a great pitcher that is homegrown and we develop, or like they find all their success in Milwaukee as a young talent, and then instead of paying them, we ship him off. The list goes, it's Josh Hader, it's Devin Williams, it's Corbin Burns after he wins a Cy Young. Now it's Freddy Peralta, who has 3 straight seasons with 200 strikeouts, was 17-6, had an amazing ERA, finished 5th in Cy Young voting. They just do not pay pitchers. How many times do we need to see pitching be so crucial come playoff time? And I think where the Brewers are at is like they've been very good at developing and scouting talent, and maybe they're confident that they can keep winning with a young, cheap team, and maybe once in a while, every 4 or 5 years, we make a splash like they do when they went and got Christian Yelich. That was a minute ago now. And then supplementing the roster with a bunch of average vets on cheap deals because it's a bunch of cheap freaking owners, man. So it's time after time with this team. It's like they're always turning over the top of their rotation. It's like 3-year sprints with the top of a rotation in Milwaukee at best. I mean, they had a great pitching staff. And next year, they're going with an almost entirely different pitching staff. That's insane. When you are leaving a season with one of the best pitching staffs, you could have kept it around, and then you go and you're the reason it's entirely disassembled. And while I'm happy that the Brewers are getting the number 3 prospect from the Mets, a shortstop, and their number 5 prospect. So they're number 3 and 5. One's a shortstop, one's a pitcher, a right-handed pitcher. We also have a top prospect shortstop in minor league baseball coming up right now. So thank gosh, we got another shortstop in the system now. But yeah, I think it's a great example of why in the next collective bargaining agreement, there needs to be discussion of the floor. And I know it's going to be in there. I know the players are never going to give up their rights to making more money in their contracts. That's why I think it's going to be important that the media deals are mixed into their contracts and how things work. So teams have more flexibility to do more and make, because baseball is like the one league where the sharing, what's it called with the media sharing? I can't remember the exact term. What's it called? If you guys can you help bail me out?
Like the media rights deals or the revenue sharing?
Yeah, revenue sharing, yes. So like baseball is the sport where revenue sharing is not really mixed into the contracts. And the players should bargain for that to be a part of it, because then it's going to allow teams, again, more flexibility to spend on the roster, allocate money towards your superstars, because you're getting money coming out of those media deals that you can work into players' contracts like other leagues do, where baseball is way, 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 way backwards in that sense comparatively. So, yeah, Brewers, my Brewers, big reason why there needs to be a salary floor. Obviously that, there'll be a cap too. And what the Mets are doing, right? The Mets, they go out and get Bo Bichette. Now they get Freddy Peralta. They get Luis Robert from the White Sox, all in the span of like 4 days. So there's another example of why there needs to be a salary cap, as well as the Dodgers and the Yankees get Cody.
Cap ain't coming no time soon. And,
but when there's one, there will be another.
And being from the hood, we don't count people's pockets. But I'm just figuring, if you own a team, you got to have the money. Just pay the money. But I'm going to tell you what these cheap guys doing. Y'all had a good year, though, Austin. So they're figuring people are going to already bought season tickets. Tickets are going to get bought. Whether we win or lose this year, hey, I'm in the green. I'm never going to get in the red. But I hate all these owners being cheap, though. That I think it's crazy, the fans. Man. But see, the fans got to start saying, fuck this. I'm not buying any more tickets. You're fucking me. We had one good year. You letting the good players go. You won't bring no good players in. And clearly the Dodgers are showing you the blueprint. If you just spend the money, you'll have a chance. So I just think the fans need to start saying, fuck y'all, I'm not going to no games. Not buying more tickets.
100%, because that's the bullshit to it all, is you're not going to go put money towards your best players or your best pitchers, and then you're going to sit back and raise ticket prices and raise concession prices all while you're not paying big money to anyone.
Exactly.
Very few guys. You're going to start charging your fans more. Everything always gets more expensive for the fans. Especially the people who are, more blue collar, right? You don't want to turn sports
like me.
Yeah, you don't want to turn sports into where like the only people who could afford coming to your games are the people who are suits at a company type of thing and got big jobs. That's not how fandom works. And those are the people that don't exactly get into it as much and aren't as passionate or as loud as at games for the most part. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are another good example of that. Their fans are awfully quiet a lot, and it's not a lot of passion coming out of that arena too often. But all right, I can keep going on. What do we got next?
Next up, we're going to close it out with the AFC Championship, Broncos and Patriots. And I want to let you guys preview the game, but I just want to give some context here before we start. So, as everyone knows, Jarrett Stidham starting in place of Bo Nix after that crazy ankle injury, whether it was the last play, the second to last play. I saw something he was on a slip and slide in the locker room. We're never going to get the full story, but he's out. So, I wanted to go over the list with you, backup quarterbacks who made their first start of the season in the playoffs. So we'll go most recent to latest. So Tyler Heineke in 2020 with Washington, a loss to the Buccaneers, but threw for 306 yards. Connor Cook, 2016 Raiders, 161 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a loss to the Texans. He never played football again after that game.
Damn.
Brutal.
Joe Webb in 2012 for the Vikings, touchdown, interception, and that loss to the Packers in the playoffs.
I remember that one, yep.
Frank Reich, as we all know, is in his coaching realms, but the 92 Bills, which is a crazy one, in the game he played for Jim Kelly, down 35-3.
Brought him back.
41-38.
Yeah, I watched that game. He brought him back. Yeah, I watched that game.
And then won the next week in Pittsburgh, and then Kelly was healthy for the title game.
Yep, for the Super Bowl.
And the last one was Gary Danielson with the Lions, 1983. I'm sorry, 2 more. 1983, 5 interceptions in a playoff game, but still only lost by 1. So he almost got him there. And then the weird one here is Roger Staubach, but 1972, Cowboys, won the Super Bowl the year before in 71, then got hurt, got healthy. They kept Morton in their backup because he was riding high with the team. And then he sucked in this playoff game. They put Staubach back in. They were down in the divisional 28-13, threw 2 TDs in 90 seconds to win.
I'll say the rest is history from there.
The rest is history. And my final fun thing that I just saw on Twitter while we were getting ready for the show was the list of backup QBs who've won the Super Bowl. So if they make it, all right, it's Earl Morrall, Jim Plunkett, Jeff Hostetler, Doug Williams, Trent Dilfer, Tom Brady, and Nick Foles. And if you jump...
And they started the season as a backup?
Yeah, started the season as a backup. So that's why Brady, right? It's funny, but Bledsoe was the starter.
That's right. Yeah.
If you word scramble all the letters of those quarterbacks, put all letters combined to make a new Scrabble word, it spells Jared Stidham Super Bowl.
Hold up.
No, but
who found that out? Who had enough time to
that's-
find that out?
I'm gonna tell you, that's somebody who's really trying to grasp onto
Right?
anything.
It is crazy.
He's more Webb and fucking
I think so.
the other guys than he is Tom Brady, Trent Dilfer, Nick Foles. I'm telling you right now, Patriots in a fucking blowout. Sean Payton can coach his ass off. Jarrett Stidham is not it. We've seen him play before. Now, let's be clear. We've seen this guy play when Russell Wilson was stinking it up. He's not good.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that. So Tom Brady, we knew he was a backup. He's the greatest ever. Trent Dilfer, those guys are big names. Even Nick Foles had some success in college to make you look and be like, he got something there. Jarrett Stidham is not that.
No, I mean, it's reasonable. Again, I think, what he showed in the preseason is he knows how to operate Sean Payton's offense well. He can make throws to every level. Now, the reason I don't think it's going to matter even in the slightest is because of the run defense. Because of their run game. The Broncos have struggled so badly to have a consistent rushing attack that I don't think it matters if they can't get the run game going. Jarrett Stidham's going to throw 4 or 5 picks. Again, if they are forced into a situation where they got to pass because the run game ain't working, and that Pats defense has been nasty up front, nasty. I don't care if Dobbins is playing. I don't think y'all are rushing for 70 yards on this defense, and Stidham's going to be forced to pass the ball. And then you're in big trouble. Christian Gonzalez is going to sit back there and just lock up whoever Stidham's going to be looking for as his first read. So, and you get Stidham, he's going to have to kind of go through his reads and everything. I think it's just going to be ugly, man. I think Stidham is not terrible.
Oh, shit, you giving him too much credit, Austin. You giving him too much credit.
Only in this sense.
He fucking stinks.
He stinks. I don't think he's the worst possible option here for the Broncos. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
He wasn't good in college.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying. Again, I think we saw visible improvements in the preseason. Again, it's a preseason. I know it means nothing. Yada yada. But I think what the point to it is he showed he can make throws downfield, middle of the field, short field. I don't think any of it's going to matter. I think the Patriots defense is going to swarm him. And it's gonna be a mess. I think the Broncos are gonna need to be warming up the buses by halftime. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm betting as much as I bet 4 picks. I'm gonna say 4 picks for Stidham. I'm gonna take the over on 3.5 picks if that's a thing.
And I think if Sean Payton had a couple weeks, he would be okay because he's a great coach. He could scheme. They got the talent around Mims, Cortland Sutton. They have talent. If he had a couple weeks to scheme some shit up, but a week, oh my God, Mike Vrabel is going to tee off on that boy. I can't wait. Like you said, your boy Williams in the middle. You like him. I think they overpaid him. But Mike Vrabel is going, and it's going to be cold as shit. It's going to be cold as shit. Jarrett Stidham, boy, it's over for you, man.
Yep. I'm intrigued to see how the Patriots are going to be able to move the ball against the Broncos defense. It was kind of ugly last week against the Texans for the Patriots. It was just kind of ugly. They're kind of it seems like they're regressing a little bit on offense. You know, not to the extent that you're worried about them, but that Broncos defense is still no slouch, man.
For sure.
I think the Broncos' only chance in hell is if that defense keeps it a really close football game.
They got to score. The defense got to score at least one.
There
if
it
the
is.
Defense can get a pick six or a scoop fumble recovery, then you may be in the game because once it get loud out there too. So I'm with you on that. If the defense can get some points scored, it might go funny now.
I was gonna say one non-offensive touchdown for the Broncos is gonna be huge. If Ramondre Stevenson's got the ball, I'm swinging at him every time. I'm swinging at that rock every time. He's got buttery elbows. I know he's gonna put it on the ground once. We can get the ball on the ground from Stevenson, so I'm punching on him. And that's the only way, because if the defense can keep this close, the Broncos can continue to try to run the ball even if it's not working, and that's gonna ultimately be what matters. Is if they're forced to get away from the run early, it's going to go downhill.
Not to go too long. Nobody wants to see Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
though.
no, yeah.
NFL
please, God,
has
no.
to put the fix in. Please give us Drake May. So I'm only hoping that Sean Payton stinks it up because I don't want to see Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl. I'm just being honest.
You and the rest of the damn world.
Yeah, put the
you and the rest of the
world. So
I'm good. This is the one time I will approve officiated fix for this game. Yeah, we can't have Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl. It's no one. Yeah, that'd be horrible. All right, Joey, who do you got? Let's go final predictions for the AFC Championship game. Joey, why don't you start? What do you think the score is going to be?
Oh, I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think it's I don't know. I think Stidham's going to struggle. I think it's a 28-7 kind of game, something where they just unfortunately, like I love the Bo Nix storyline. It was awesome how they did last week, but they got no shot without him.
All right, fair. Emo, what you got?
I'm going 21, 2 field goals to 6.
Okay. I'm taking 28-12 Patriots. They get a touchdown. I don't know. Somehow they need 2 field. I don't know. 28-12. I think it's gonna be an ass whooping. 4 picks. Stidham 4 picks. Drake May back to goated. And until then, y'all enjoy watching that. We'll see you on Chalk Talk Social next week for another episode. We're going to get back after it. Until then, we'll see you.